Good morning. Happy Tuesday, July 16th. I'm Kimberly Perot, and welcome to Good Morning Vail. On today's episode, we'll be in the kitchen showing you how to make a low-calorie but delicious breakfast bowl to hit those protein goals and beyond. Plus, we've got the owner and artist of AIM Gallery joining us here in the studio with some gorgeous artwork, and then Vail Vibes taking us on an adventure to an adventure park, plus Dinosaur Junction and more. So let's get started.
Things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Now, we certainly like to make sure you are starting your day off right with taking a look at the weather for today and beyond. So let's see what is happening. We're looking at about 63 degrees this morning. Gorgeous day for a light jacket if you're wandering out those doors. And if you're getting moving, you're going to want to shed that jacket pretty quickly because we're looking at a high of 74 degrees. Thunderstorms happening throughout the day with a 50% chance of those storms rolling in. Partially cloudy in the afternoon. Winds coming from the west by northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. As we continue to look at what's happening through the hourly forecast, 63 degrees at 8 a.m., 73 at noon, and then it's continuing that way all the way till about 4 o'clock, 66 degrees tonight at 8 p.m., and thunderstorms again in the afternoon. Heading into that I-70 corridor, we're looking at Eagle, 83 degrees. 50% chance of storms as well throughout the day, all across that I-70 corridor, 78 in Avon, 74 in Vail, and then Denver, as always, 10 degrees or hotter, 87 degrees for the high today in Denver. Now looking at tonight's forecast, low of 54 degrees, 25% chance of rain, and then partial clouds in the evening and sunset at 8:34 p.m. Winds coming from the south by southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now that 5-day forecast, we're coming up on the weekend. We definitely want to see what is going to be going on, especially if you have adventures planned this summer. Wednesday, 50% chance of storms in the afternoon, 78 degrees for the high, 52 for the low. Thursday, just about the same. It increases by 1 degree, 79 for the high, 53 for the low, and then it drops again on Friday. Only by a little bit though, for 76 for the high, 51 for the low. And then Saturday, just about the same at that 74 and 52. Sunday, we are finally back. No more thunderstorms. At mostly sunny for the day, 20% chance of precipitation. And then 76 for the high and 48 for the low. So gorgeous weather as you head into the weekend with a little bit of thunderstorms, which is expected in the sunshine and the summertime here in the mountains. Now stay tuned. We've got a lot happening in this first part of the show, so we'll be right back after this quick break.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
One of the longest-running syndicated television series is back, America's Black Forum, a weekly series highlighting the latest in our lifestyles, business, entertainment, and finance. We introduce you to entrepreneurs who are making their mark in the business world and leaders who are fighting for change.
Welcome to America's Black Forum.
Tune in each week to know what's happening in our world today on America's Black Forum.
Daily Flash.
I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English, welcoming you to
Mitch English and Andrea Jackson have co-hosted together for over a decade. And now, only on Daily Flash, they serve up a fast, fun, fresh perspective on the day's trending news and entertainment. Daily Flash offers the latest in pop news, celebrity gossip, fashion, health, wellness, and even some unscripted, irreverent, who knows what's next fun. Daily Flash with Mitch English and Andrea Jackson. Trending news and entertainment.
Good morning, Vail.
Now, I certainly love all of the artwork and all of the artistry that we have here in our valley. I'd say it's one of the things that makes us unique besides the gorgeous mountains. Joining me today is the artist and founder of AIM Gallery Vail, Mike McCoskey. Mike, how are you?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here today.
Thrilled to have you here. First of all, I love your aesthetic. Personally, the pants, the hat, everything. You're looking great.
Well, everyone that comments on the pants, I tell them just to drop off a pair. I'll be glad to fix them up with some.
So are these an intentional pair of art, or do you kind of just let it happen?
I have so many items of clothing that are covered with paint, but these were pretty intentional just to have something to wear for occasions.
Oh, that's so fun. Well, this is not your main work of art. This is just a side project and all of the things that you're doing. So let's talk a bit about, I'd love to hear all about the AIM Gallery and how it got started, the history behind it.
Great. Well, first of all, AIM stands for Affirmation, Inspiration, and Motivation.
Love that.
And that's what we're hoping to do through art. And it all stems from basically my family's history and background. I have an extremely entrepreneurial family, and they have been extremely successful. So I'm asked all the time, you know, what was happening at our house, what was going on, how did this happen? And I've come to realize it was through a lot of encouragement, and a lot of the encouragement came through things like Post-it notes was a big part of our life. My son, I think in junior high, started putting Post-it notes to himself on his mirror in the bathroom. Everybody picked up on it. We started leaving them, and it was all, you know, inspirational, motivational type of things. And that kind of led into, you know, motivational posters on my kids' walls. And so I started really studying that, and I studied, you know, what's behind, you know, what they call the power of words. Mm-hmm. There's a lot written. There's books and there's science, and there's truly a lot of truth to the fact that if you see something enough, or you read something enough, or hear something enough, it really affects your brain, affects how you do, and so the art is intended to be a way to put that in people's homes. Things that they would like to see their kids and grandkids read every day, or walk by in the hallway every day and see. And the thought is that can have a profound influence on them going forward.
Oh, that's 100% true. And
Yeah.
I love that that's how it was started. My brother and I like to encourage each other via Post-it notes or like a
Right.
Sharpie on the mirror.
Right.
And, you know, my parents, when growing up, also used to take toothpaste and would write like birthday, like
Right,
fun words
absolutely,
and positive messages
absolutely.
and toothpaste on
And
the
the
mirror.
the thing is that I looked around quite a bit and tried to find out if people are doing, we call this text art because we're using words to create art. And what I found is there are people that do text art, but there's nobody that's really focusing on just being motivational or inspirational. They have cute things they say, or other things they say, some of them not so cute, in my opinion, but it's great and it's all good. So what I just started doing was painting these they're large and they're pretty bold, and they have different words and different motivational things on there. Much of it is the common ones that we all know and we've all said so many times. And then it became a situation where I had a lot of them. And so with the idea of a gallery and making them available to the public came up, and my kids are very, like I said, very entrepreneurial, so they were very encouraging, and that's kind of where it ended up.
Oh, I love it. Now we're featuring some of the gallery itself right now on our screens.
Great.
And you can just see that it's not just, paint, it's all kinds of ways to do it. So how do you decide which piece of work are you going to work on? And what's your creative process?
It's a little bit by committee.
Okay.
Because I will, you can go online and you can put in 2-word phrases, 3-word phrases. You can get a long list of different things. And so I kind of start, doing that. And then between my wife and the family, we kind of look at them and I say, what looks good? What do you think? And then of course the size of the canvases are big, but the letters are big, and that becomes the power of it is in the appearance and how it comes across. So they need to be pretty short words.
Yeah.
They can't be very long phrases. And so that kind of eliminates quite a few things that we do. Although we do have some that are pretty big. And I have one that says nothing is impossible and never stop believing. And those are obviously a little bit longer words,
Sure.
but they take up quite a bit of canvas space.
Well, speaking of canvas space, we've got this gorgeous piece behind us and it says joy. I absolutely love that. So talk to me about this painting. What inspired it?
Well, this is honestly the smallest thing that we have in the gallery. So it was easy to bring here today, and joy is just, we just need to always remember to find joy in the world and joy in what we're doing. And I think it's a piece that, can pretty much speak to anybody, no matter what their background, no matter maybe what their faith might be. It's everybody can resonate with the idea of just remembering to be joyous, at all times, and always find joy. I have another one that says, "Find joy in the hard."
Yeah, that's great.
And I really like that.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't bring it today. It's rather large, but
that's more than 2 or 3 words in that one.
So yeah, so anyhow, but that's so that's pretty much how that came about.
That's wonderful. So it sounds to me like you do some of your own, but if people want to customize a piece, do you take customization?
We're finding, I kind of thought that would be the situation when we opened the gallery, and we're finding that that's exactly what's happening because, everybody has their favorite thing that they say to their kids or their grandkids, or maybe that their dad said to them growing up. And so the gallery serves as much as an area of samples. They can see colors. We have different backgrounds, different patterns, different styles. And then so they can do that, and they say, well, on my wall this size will fit, and I really like that way, and I like the way that one's framed, and this and that, and kind of mix it in together. And so we are creating quite a few commission pieces just because of that in that way.
So it's, the word is not just the personalization, it's everything. It's
Right.
the whole personality behind it and the thought behind it. I love that. I think it's gorgeous. So tell me, where are you located and how can we come visit? What are your operating
We
hours?
are in the Solaris, which is obviously the center of the village of Vail, and a fantastic location. We feel very fortunate. We're upstairs, just looking right down on the ice rink, and we're very fortunate that the space became available. We'd been actually looking for about a year, and there just wasn't much because with the size of the paintings, we need a fairly large space, or we can't really show very much. And so this did become available in the spring, and we were very happy with that. And I think we're pretty easy to find. We have a big red sign similar to the logo up above that says AIM.
Oh, it's just it's gorgeous work, and I think it's so fun. Do you have to make an appointment to come in, or can you just say,
We're open every day from 11 to 8. I'm not there every day. I'm in there lots of times in the late afternoons, early evenings. But if someone would like me to meet them there, then yes, they can easily call. I'm very close. I live here full time. And so I really enjoy coming in to meet people and talk to them about projects.
Absolutely. Well, those operating hours, 11 to 8, are ideal
Yeah.
because, especially in the winter season, they can come in after
Right.
they get off the slopes versus having to choose viewing art or skiing. So
Right.
I love that option as well. Well, I certainly find joy in the painting behind me or behind you, and it's just a pleasure speaking with you. So, Mike,
No.
one more time, where can we go to look online to find information?
Yeah, it's the website is theaimgalleryvail.com, and so that would be it. We have our Instagram pages at the Aim Gallery, and so we try to have things there listing different events, different things that we might have. We do have some events from time to time. We have speakers. We have certain evenings when I'm there, and people, we publicize that so people can know to come in. And so, yeah, that's a great way to keep up.
Oh, I love the vibrant colors. As you can see, I'm a big bright color fan, so excited to.
We have a lot of color. We definitely
You
do.
definitely do, and just that initial display window is gorgeous as well, so you
Thank
can
you.
see some of the work. And congratulations! We were very excited to see how this continues to impact our community and beyond.
Okay, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Now stay tuned. We will be back with more on our show right after this.
Good morning, Vail.
This is Necklace. This easy-to-use, non-surgical alternative improves the appearance of sagging skin around your neck and jawline. Made from medical-grade tape, Necklace lasts up to 10 hours, giving you a firmer, smoother look all day long.
This is the one that works.
Starting on one side, peel off to expose adhesive and affix it beneath your earlobe. Stretch the strip around the back of your neck until it reaches the other side. Remove the white backing from the other end of the strip and attach under the other earlobe. Go ahead and take your hair down.
Wow, look at that. Necklace really is the one that works.
Women everywhere are thrilled with the results.
Necklace is my time machine and I'm loving life again.
Necklace is way better than surgery. It's cheaper and it's easier.
Oh wow, took like 6 years off here.
Well, I like it. It's like a mini facelift.
Oh, it totally works.
Think I need a box or two.
Use the on-screen QR code or visit sagnomore.com to order now. We even give you a money-back guarantee. Try Necklace today.
Stevie Lee Woods presents Nashville Roadhouse Live, where country meets rock and roll.
It's where I drank my first beer, where I found Jesus, where I wrecked my first car, I tore it all to pieces. Join us every week for more live performances right here on Nashville Roadhouse Live.
Learn the latest in science each week and how it relates to everyday life. From space exploration to plant biology to the latest in high-tech advances. Every new scientific development is explored and explained in an understandable way. Amazing stories each week. Watch Science Now.
Daily Flash Latino. Designed for the American Latino audience, Daily Flash Latino hosts Jessica Reyes and Fabian Marcano deliver their fresh perspective on the latest entertainment news, celebrity gossip, fashion, health, and more in both English and Spanish, aka Spanglish. Daily Flash Latino builds, connects, and celebrates the diverse Hispanic audience. Daily Flash Latino, trending news and entertainment with a splash of Spanglish.
You know TV8 Vail has great local content, but did you know about our production services? Hire an expert to develop your website reel, commercials, live stream events, studio production, and more. If you can dream it, we can help you do it. TV8 delivers high-quality content in both English and Spanish. Contact us today to discuss your next project. Email Danielle at tv8vail.com or call 970-628-9881. Good morning, Vail.
Now it is breakfast time, and you know what that means. I am looking for a healthy way to fuel my body throughout the day, but also still make it hearty and delicious, especially if you plan to get out on the mountain, whether it's hiking, biking, and skiing in the wintertime and beyond. So one of the things that I like to do is look for quick and easy yet delicious meals. So we're going to go ahead and make a breakfast bowl. It's going to be so easy to assemble, and then we're popping it into the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes or so. We've got several different ingredients, and you can mix and match with what you like, but believe it or not, we've got frozen tater tots, chorizo. You can pick a regular chorizo if you want, but really any kind of breakfast meat. If you're looking for more of a lower calorie option, Morningstar has a veggie chorizo, which is also a really good thing to add into this breakfast bowl. Shredded cheese. We've got liquid egg whites. So you can do egg beaters, but you can also do it as an original egg white as well, which is just as easy to do. You don't have to crack eggs. It makes it less messy. And then season as you wish. So we've got garlic powder, some salt. If you like some pepper, you can throw that on, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to assemble this breakfast bowl that we will be putting in the oven. You can meal prep a bunch for the whole week, and then you're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I've got my egg beaters here. I'm going to go open my egg beaters. And now, depending on the size of your bowl, if you're doing a little bit of a smaller bowl, I would do about a half a cup. If you're doing a larger bowl like we are, I would do about 3/4 of a cup of these liquid egg beaters. So I'm going to just pour it in here, about 3/4 of a cup. Nice and easy, just like that. And just pour it in. I'm always on the search for a delicious but healthy breakfast meal, because scrambled eggs every morning can be a little boring sometimes as we're working through that. So I poured my liquid egg whites in, and then I'm going to add just a little bit of salt on my own measuring. So whatever you prefer, I'm going to do just a couple dashes here. Again, it doesn't matter what kind of salt. We like the pink Himalayan sea salt here in the studio. I think it's just a delicious extra added flavor to it. Then some garlic powder. I do light garlic powder, believe it or not, in my breakfast bowls. It just adds a little extra depth and layering to the flavor. We're going to take a spoon and just stir those seasonings up just like that. Now, you don't have to put too much spice if you're using just traditional chorizo in your bowl. We sauteed some of this up earlier just to make it nice and browned. It'll add a little bit of spice to it. Now, if you're being very specific, you can always count your macros to add this in. And if you wanted to do about, I don't know, 1/4 of a cup, but I'm just going to spoon a little bit into my breakfast bowl right here. I'm just going to mix that around just like that. I'll do about 2 spoonfuls just to keep it light. Oh, I can't wait to try this. This is going to be so delicious this morning. And then we're going to take our shredded cheddar cheese. So it really doesn't matter if you are trying to be calorie conscious. You can always use a reduced fat. Sometimes people think that's not the best for you, but if you're really watching your calories, I say the less is better, no matter what you're doing, and as long as you're properly fueling your body. So we're just going to take a little bit of this shredded cheese. Now, this is a triple cheddar blend. I like to have as many layered flavors into my meals as possible in the best and easiest way possible. So we'll just add a little more cheese, because why not? We've got that cheese sprinkled into our breakfast bowl. Next we're going to do, things are falling over all over the place here in the kitchen. Now we're going to add some tater tots. And yes, you may say tater tots, that's not very healthy. Well, that's okay. We can add just a few. It's not like we're going to be eating an entire basket full that you may get at a restaurant. We're going to add just a few of these, and just frozen tater tots, fresh out of the freezer section. I'm going to put about 6 in here. So just stick them into your breakfast bowl just like that. I've got 3. You could do maybe 5 if you want to, but we're going to add 6 because this is a little bit of a larger serving. Awesome. Okay. As you can see it looks wonderful. What we're going to do is we'll pop it into the oven, and then we'll let it bake. It'll bake for about 20 minutes on 350. They're quite delicious. Once you pull them out, they'll be ready to go. You'll be fueled for the day. Lots happening to get your day started. And I know I'm going to be heating this up and definitely eating it when we are finished with the show. So any kind of breakfast bowl that you want to make. But I like the chorizo with the tater tots, a little bit of the cheese, and this still feels like a delicious and indulgent meal, even though it is quite good for you and high in protein. So if you want more recipes, make sure that you like and follow along on our Instagram and our Facebook pages. We'll share all of these recipes if you're interested. We'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
It's time for the best coverage of the top stories in sports. The Sports Wrap with Jason Page starts now.
How do you make Anthony Edwards the face of your franchise if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves? We'll get into that.
And we say hello to our good friend Matt Verderam, who hangs out with us from SI.com. Their NFL insider, one of them, is hanging out with us on the program today.
Did you see Caitlin Clark last night? She put up a 40-burger, hits the game-winning three as time expires. Let's turn our attention to the Denver Broncos, one of the NFL's most dysfunctional situations.
The Sports Wrap with Jason Page.
From small towns to big cities and everywhere in between, we're covering the great things that are happening right now in the USA. This is Positively America with Ernie Anastas.
Each week, we're going to focus on the great things that are happening every day in the USA. We'll feature change makers.
In every older person, there's a younger person saying, how did this happen?
Innovators.
I talk about design the way some people might talk about like the person they're in love with.
Doers and dreamers.
You can use that recognition to pay it forward.
Ordinary Americans accomplishing extraordinary things.
When you smile, you receive one back most of the time.
We're going to prove to you that optimism and hope are paving the way to an even brighter tomorrow.
We've got a lot of programs that are specifically focused on the children of our fallen heroes.
At Positively America, our mission is to feature good news.
Welcome to Street Magic. I'm Elizabeth Stanton with some of the most terrifying stunts, extraordinary extreme escapes, and the most amazing cutting-edge magicians you'll ever see in one show. Get ready to have your mind turned inside out. The hand is definitely quicker than the eye.
It's fake!
Hi there. Are you ready to explore famous neighborhoods from New York City to Kentucky? Watch The Neighborhood with host Nicole Newman. Featuring famous people, unique history, and delicious places to eat and drink. Our viewers get an inside personal look at each neighborhood. With each episode we learn, grow, laugh, and live like a local, not just a visitor. Welcome to The Neighborhood. Check your local program schedule and tune in.
Good morning, Vail.
Now, I certainly have enjoyed the first part of our show. We talked about joy and fueling your body, and what is a better way to have both than using that energy to get out on the mountain to do some hiking, some mountain biking, and beyond. But in order to do that and to kind of prepare for your day, we're going to check out today's weather and the next 5 days. As you can see, at 8 a.m., it's 63 degrees, and we're looking at about a high of 74 with a 50% chance of precipitation, partly cloudy, and then the precipitation will roll in this afternoon through thunderstorms. Winds will be coming from the west by northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So just that nice light breeze that we're used to here in this gorgeous valley here. We'll take a look as we continue to move throughout the day. We want to see what that hourly forecast will be looking like so you can adequately prepare for your day. 63 degrees this morning, mostly sunny. Then at noon, that's when those scattered thunderstorms will start to roll in. 73 degrees at noon, and then it will continue that same temperature until the afternoon and the evening, where at 8 p.m., 66 degrees will be our low before we hit true nightfall and that sunset. Looking at the I-70 corridor, Eagle, It's 83 degrees in Eagle, and then it drops. We're looking at a 50% chance of scattered thunderstorms throughout the afternoon as well. Avon will be kind of holding it steady in the 70s, 78 degrees for the high, 50% chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. Just about the same in Vail with a slightly lower temperature at 74 degrees. And then Denver, they are going to be mirroring our scattered thunderstorms here in the valley, but 87 degrees for the high. So lots happening there in the weather front. As we're looking for tonight, 54 degrees for the low. That rain will taper off a bit with a 25% chance of precipitation. Partial cloud coverage and sunset at 8:34 p.m. The winds are coming from the south by southeast, so they've switched directions by the time we get to the end of the day at 5 to 10 miles per hour. The 5-day forecast, this is what we want to see. It's going to be about the same for the first 4 days, continuing on from Wednesday and beyond, and then Sunday it changes a bit. Let's take a look at what we'll see individually. 78 degrees on Wednesday, 52 degrees for the low. And then it's going to bump up 1 degree both in the morning at the high and in the evening at the low. So 79 degrees on Thursday, 53 degrees as well for the low. Afternoon thunderstorms throughout the next 4 days. Friday, 60% chance of that precipitation, 76 degrees for the high, 51 for the low. Saturday, just about the same. It drops a little bit for the high at 74 and 52 for the low. Now that sunshine, thank goodness, it will be back on Sunday just in time to get out and have a picnic, do some hiking, some biking, and all of that. A high of 76 and a low of 48. Now, if you want to get out and about, Avija with Vail Vibes, she is showing us all of the fun and adventurous things that you can do here in the valley and beyond. She took a look at the Adventure Park, who just celebrated their 40th anniversary. Let's take a look at the latest Vail Vibes.
Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park. It's America's only mountaintop theme park. In fact, it's so high up that you need to take a gondola to get there.
My name's Arthur Wheeler. I'm the attractions manager here at Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park. A very unique place, right? We've got all of our natural attractions with our caves, and then we have 12 phenomenal other rides and attractions that we have here. Our latest addition is Defiance, which is our brand new 110-foot tall roller coaster, right? And fun fact, it actually has the steepest free fall drop west of the Mississippi. So my favorite ride here is Giant Canyon Swing. Every single time I ride it, right, my brain just never seems to get it, right? It's just, we're gonna get this full send off the cliff edge, and it's just this ultimately just thrilling experience, right? It's rated among the top 3 scariest rides on Earth.
I wasn't quite ready to be sent off a cliff on a giant swing, but I did try the Alpine coaster. It's unlike any roller coaster I've ever been on. It's similar to an alpine slide, but you have full control over your own speed. And if you're like me, you like to take things slow and take in the views. There's not a lot of fantasy or make-believe at this adventure park. The views are all Mother Nature, including these caves, which Arthur says have a lot of history.
In the late 1800s, the Darrow family began showing tours in our historic fairy cave that we have here, right? It's actually one of the first caves in the United States to have electric lights. And over time, that cave went from the Darrow family to the Preble family. This is where our current owner, Steve Beckley, comes into play. When Steve Beckley was in college, he began writing to Peter Preble, who was the owner of the mountain at the time, and trying to convince him, like he had found the caves and he wanted to, open these caves back up to the public and really kind of create this awesome experience. And it took over 10 years of writing Peter Preble before they were able to come to an agreement.
That persistence paid off, and now the public can enjoy the adventure park all year round.
During the winter season, we have Winter on the Mountain, where we have close to 1 million lights that we put on all of our various trees, right? So it's just well lit up and everything is just this magical kind of sparkle that you're gonna get in the winter.
Sounds like the perfect day off from skiing. For TV8 in Vail, I'm Avija Scar.
Take the first game every one of us played in the schoolyard. Turn up the degree of difficulty to maximum, and then let loose some of the fastest and most agile athletes in the world to go one-on-one in what you have is the most extreme pursuit contest you've ever known. It's intense, it's addictive, and there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
If you haven't seen World Chase Tag before, here's how it works.
2 teams of up to 6 athletes compete in a series of one-on-one chases. Each chase lasts up to 20 seconds and has 1 chaser and 1 evader.
Opportunities for points on the board! Oh!
Whoever wins the duel stays on as the evader, and teams get 1 point for each evasion they make.
And it looks like the opening point of this contest.
It's the best of 16 chases to win the match, with a sudden death chase-off required to break any ties. It's win or go home from now on. Don't miss it.
I'm Danella Richard. I've made a career traveling the world. I've worked for some of the biggest names in travel, and now I've traded in my business suit for a swimsuit. Swimming with the sharks, swinging at the edge of the world, throwing back a few shots, or shall I say spirits. Eating some of the best cuisine, and even making a few furry friends along the way. I invite you to come along with me and discover the world.
Join us on the famous Leadville Railroad. This historic train ride takes you on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for an afternoon of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Our scenic train rides are a perfect place to bring families closer together while immersing them in the natural beauty and rich history of this picturesque region. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Make memories that will last a lifetime. Tickets available at LeadvilleRailroad.com.
Good morning, Vail.
Now, it's certainly important to remember and honor those that have paved the way before us, both here at TV8 and in our world. Now, this is a fun part. Maddie had a conversation with a former TV8 host who now manages Dinosaur Junction, the dinosaurs that have paved the way in Edwards. Let's take a look at that conversation and all the fun, adventurous things that they have to offer.
We are standing here with local legend and local paleontologist Billy Dorn with the Dinosaur Museum
at Dinosaur Junction.
See, I knew it was something great, though.
You were practically there, Maddie. You're practically there.
I was so close. But you gave me a small little tour before the interview started. Now, this is one of these hidden gems in our community. This is a nonprofit that really was brought by Eagle County and you collaborating together.
Yes, it was. It was kind of one of those situations where Mother Nature said, "Oh, you want to find some cool fossils? Well, there you go. Now you got to do something with it all." So that's where the museum came from. We call it the Museum at Dinosaur Junction because most of the stuff that we found in this area is from an area down the road. I can't say exactly where it is, but we've coined it, we've nicknamed it Dinosaur Junction over the years because there's so much stuff there. And it's not just a couple dinosaurs, it's stuff that spans about 170 million years of the dinosaur time, and we found upwards of 10 to 12 different stuff in that area. So that's why we call it the Museum at Dinosaur Junction. But as you mentioned, we are a nonprofit. It's very much focused on Eagle County. In fact, as we walk around, I can tell you right now, about 80% of what's in here, so almost everything, I have found in this immediate area in Eagle County. So it's a real kind of cool peek back into the ancient prehistoric time of Eagle County.
I was just going to say, not only are we taking a look back in history that everyone knows and loves because dinosaurs are kind of the coolest thing ever.
They're pretty wild.
It's spectacular to be in here.
It's funny because a lot of parents will ask me, because every kid and every parent out there knows every kid is obsessed with dinosaurs at some point.
Yes.
And they're like, why is that? And I think, and this goes with adults as well, dinosaurs are that bridge between fantasy and reality.
Yes.
I mean, if you were to try to describe someone a Tyrannosaurus rex, an animal that was 40 feet long and weighed upwards of 25 to 30,000 pounds, that could eat an elephant, that's something out of a horror movie. But that animal lived here. It lived here in Colorado, you know? So I think it's that fascination for things that seem so fantasy and seem so unreal, but yet, as you said, they were here. They were stomping around.
Which then you get a rich part of our history as a community since you did find them here. So as we're kind of hyping this up and people are getting excited about the dinosaurs and what you found here in Eagle County, why don't we take a nice little tour?
Let's take a look. We'll come down this way. The museum's set up pretty easily. It's very elementary. There's basically 3 periods of the dinosaurs that they existed. The beginning is the Triassic time, when dinosaurs first show up on Earth and in Colorado, and that's about 230 million years ago. At the same time, crocodiles first show up. So crocodiles and dinosaurs live side by side. They're not the same animal, but they were here in Colorado. In fact, I've found fossils from massive crocodiles here in Eagle County. So yeah, we had some huge crocs walking around. But the Triassic time, this kind of shows you a little bit. One thing that did not exist for most of the time of the dinosaurs, Maddie, is where we live and celebrate, and that's the Rocky Mountains.
Right.
They were not here. There would have been some little hills, some small little uplifts here and there, but basically Colorado for the majority of the Triassic time would have been very much like the Sahara Desert. Rolling sand dunes as far as we can see, fairly arid and dry. There was some water moving around. Animals are relatively small. This is also a time when Earth is looking pretty unique because we don't have all the different continents. We don't have North America, South America, Australia, Africa, Europe, etc. It's one supercontinent called Pangaea. And of course, things that are big, in order for them to turn into pieces, they have to break apart. Only the Earth breaking apart is not something you want to be involved in. So, needless to say, about 200 million years ago, when the Triassic period, chapter 1, kind of comes to a close, that's because Pangaea starts to rip apart. And almost, I think somewhere in the neighborhood of 80% of every living thing on Earth dies. Not just the new dinosaurs and crocodiles, but animals in the oceans, plants, insects, insects which make up a massive population of the Earth. That many things pass away. They just get annihilated when that happens. But that also allows us a time for renewal and change. And we go from the Triassic to the Jurassic. Now, of course, everyone knows that name from the movies, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. This is probably one of my favorite time periods, Maddie, because this is when dinosaurs get gigantic. It's the Jurassic time, which was about 200 million years ago to about 145 million years ago, and this is when they get truly massive. They become the largest things to ever walk the planet. They literally take over everywhere. They're living all over the different continents, that as the continents are slowly, the very, very brand new continents, as they're making their way across the Earth, these guys are proliferating and they're living in every possible spot.
And they're evolving.
They're evolving
constant
quick.
Evolution,
yes. This is also a time where that evolution really kicks in high gear and they start to take over everywhere, and we get all the, not so much these, including these massive giant long necks, but we get the things that have huge mouths full of massive teeth, giant claws, spikes, plates. One of the most famous dinosaurs, which we'll see as we walk around, Stegosaurus. The big plates on his back, the spikes on his tail, which was about a 30-foot animal. It weighed in the neighborhood of 15,000 pounds, maybe, give or take. Colorado State fossil, we have found footprints from those in this area. So those were very bizarre animals, and they lived here in Eagle County.
Which is so incredible and such a unique piece of our history, and something that I think you blow a lot of people's mind with as you talk about it, because I didn't honestly know this until I got to spend some time with you here before. And I think it's fascinating to hear as the evolution of the dinosaurs and Pangaea breaking apart and separating and just what transpired. And this is a great way to learn. Now, we have to bring them up only because I've been obsessed since we got here with my girl Tilly, and we've got Erwin behind us. Now, why are these such a crucial part of the museum? And what's so unique about showing them?
Well, just like these guys, Tilly is a sulcata tortoise, also called an African spurfoot tortoise. She's about 2 years old, and Maddie, she's going to reach about 80 years old one day. She's going to be about 200 pounds, and it's funny because everyone's like, well, Billy, what are you going to do with her when she's that big? And I don't have to worry about that because I'm not going to be around most likely. Hopefully she'll still be living here at the museum, and the museum will be a much bigger, more established spot. But Tilly, along with Erwin, our blue iguana up here, of course, they're both reptiles, as were dinosaurs. Dinosaurs were a very unique type of reptile. But these guys are really terrific at giving, especially kids, but even adults, the chance to look at something like Erwin, who has these big spikes all over his neck and back and big scales and jowls on his face. When you look at him and look at some of these dinosaur skulls, his skull does not look a whole lot different than some of these guys' skulls.
Right.
So now a kid or even adult can look at these and go, Well, maybe they had big flaps of skin. Maybe they had big scales. Maybe they had these big spikes all over their necks and back, because those things don't last. All those things I just named, those are like keratin, their fingernails, so it disappears, yeah.
Which is so cool and such a great way to involve kind of modern living creatures with these prehistoric.
Exactly.
And then
plus they're just so cute. I mean, look at Tilly.
I know, I'm smitten. Tilly has me so smitten in here.
Tilly just steals all the girls' hearts. She is very, very cute. So things continue to change. We'll get through this. So Jurassic time, we still have one more chapter. Chapter 3 is the Cretaceous. So the Jurassic ends. It's not as violent as Pangea. The climate's changing, but needless to say, at the end of the Jurassic, a lot of these massive animals that we all know, Stegosaurus, Allosaurus, the big long necks, they all go extinct. They disappear from ancient Colorado, but now we have new locals. This is a time of Tyrannosaurus rex, who is a Colorado dinosaur. We have Triceratops with the massive horns, also Colorado. We have raptors, but one of the most unique things that happened at this time, Maddie, if we could move right down here, the climate is getting very hot during this time.
Right.
And of course, as the Earth heats up, we're seeing this nowadays, we're getting a massive melt of ice, of permafrost, of snow all over the world. Well, when this happened, every bit of ice and snow in the whole world melted, all of it. And for those of you who might not realize this, if you were to go to sleep tonight, and all the ice and snow in the entire world melted, when you woke up tomorrow, the oceans of the world would be as high as the Statue of Liberty's left elbow.
So
the elbow she's holding the Book of Freedom in.
A lot of people would be swimming.
A lot of people. We'd have a lot more ocean front probably here in Colorado. But if we look at this picture, these are all animals that lived here. Massive creatures, these huge mosasaurs. These are not dinosaurs, they're ocean reptiles that reach lengths of 60 to 65 feet. This museum's only about 50 feet wide, so they wouldn't even fit in here. Massive sharks used to be swimming here in Eagle County. All kinds of strange creatures. But whatever shows up, eventually things will disappear. And about 70 million years ago, something major happens.
Right.
The Rocky Mountains finally show up. And with that uplift of going from the bottom of the ocean floor to tens of thousands of feet, that combined with a cooling Earth again, and all that water being pulled out and stored as ice and snow all over, those levels drastically changed. And that combined with Rockies that lived during the Cretaceous time, those Rocky Mountains lifted to sometimes 30,000 foot peaks in Colorado.
Wow.
That's higher than Mount Everest.
Yeah.
Imagine Colorado being covered in mountains that are 30,000 feet high. But they did. They took the bottom of the ocean, pushed it to the top. That's why right down the street from where we're here in Edwards, right from where we're standing, right down the street, there's layers of ocean floor right down there. So we're finding shark's teeth. We're finding bones from massive mosasaurs. We're finding these beautiful curled shells from ammonites, the squid-like creatures that used to be swimming right here. So it's incredible because it really gives us that perspective. And in my opinion, it gives us that perspective on our own lives. And we realize how fleeting everything is.
I mean, one of my favorite sayings that a history teacher told me is you don't know where you're going unless you know where you've been. And this is a great stepping stone.
It's a great stepping stone.
Into learning where we as a county and where we have been before.
And where we might be going. Who knows, in another 50 million years, these Rocky Mountains could be gone. We might be the bottom of an ocean again right here.
Or the dinosaurs could come back.
And or maybe even weirder things will come back. That's
true.
what's so incredible about science. As I always tell kids, the greatest thing about science, we don't know what someone's going to find tomorrow. And that's thrilling.
That is thrilling. Now, Billy, there are some great ways for people to get involved and to come enjoy the museum here. So let's really briefly talk about that, because we've talked a lot about the dinosaurs, but what if people want to come see the dinosaurs?
As you can tell, I'll just keep going. So our website is dinosaurjunction.org. We are a nonprofit, so dinosaurjunction.org. You can get all the information on that, our hours, when we're open. We do have family memberships. We do have single memberships. We're always taking donations. We have an incredible volunteer staff. We are all volunteer, and they are just outfitted with all kinds of knowledge. So one of the greatest things about this spot, as opposed to maybe some other museums around, is when you come here, you're going to get a personalized service. You're going to be able to talk to someone. If you're walking about and you see something that spurs a question, you can ask one of us, and we're happy to share that knowledge with people. So I think that kind of private, personal service has made us pretty unique. We've been open it'll be 2 years in June. And we're continuing to grow. Our numbers are crazy. We've had thousands of students from classes in Summit County, obviously mainly Eagle County, Garfield County. We've had students from Pitkin County. So we are moving in the right direction. But it's a fantastic museum. It is growing, and we are finding more and more things every spring. The more we find, the more we can put on exhibit here.
Which is so incredible, Billy. Thank you so much for taking the time to
Thanks
chat
for
with
being
us,
here.
walking us around, giving us all this great information, and really loving what you do, because hearing the passion in your voice sparks a curiosity within my inner child to come back and have another tour to finish the other half of the museum.
Well, good. Then my work is done.
Billy, thank you so much.
Thanks for being here.
Make sure that you come check out the museum, because you're going to fall in love. And if you are lucky enough to have local legend paleontologist Billy walking you through, you're going to fall in love even more with the dinosaurs. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show.
Good morning, Vail.
One of the longest-running syndicated television series is back, America's Black Forum, a weekly series highlighting the latest in our lifestyles, business, entertainment, and finance. We introduce you to entrepreneurs who are making their mark in the business world and leaders who are fighting for change.
Welcome to America's Black Forum.
Tune in each week to know what's happening in our world today on America's Black Forum.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
Coming up this season on Ready, Set, Renovate, we see one couple fall in love with a waterfront fixer-upper.
It sort of wrapped its arms around us and said, you want me, and we did.
And watch as another battles over the budget.
We're trying to look through and see where we can trim at this point.
Are you looking to trim it, Ginger?
No.
No.
Construction pros show us the right way to renovate.
Well, we had to do a roof over. We had to hand build a lot of the trusses.
As we're putting the thin set down, the self-leveler has a little clip that clips up underneath the edge of the tile.
Tune into Coffee with America and start your day in the right direction, where we go over the latest and greatest in health, lifestyle, entertainment, and more. Start your day off on Coffee with America.
Join us in exploring the everyday lives of community members here in the Vail Valley. Hear their inspiring stories of how they came here, their contributions to our community, and why they chose to call this place home. We want you to be one of our neighbors. If you would like to be featured or nominate someone to be featured, please send an email to danielle@tv8vail.com. We look forward to featuring your story right here on TV8.
Hey, it's your boy, Nephew Tommy, your host for an all-new season of Black College Quiz, where the nation's best and brightest display their knowledge of Black history and culture while competing for prizes and scholarships. So get ready to see HBCU Nation take the academic field. Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Yeah, man.
Good morning, Vail.
My morning has been off to such a fun start, but I definitely want to see what that weather is going to look like throughout the day today and for the rest of the week. So let's take a look one last time on Good Morning Vail. As you can see, it's 8 a.m. I keep wanting to say 83 degrees, but at 8 a.m. it is 63 degrees this morning. So nice and cool, light jacket weather. Make sure that you are out and about enjoying the quiet of the morning before your day gets started. But we're looking at a high of 74. 50% chance of afternoon scattered thunderstorms. We're looking at winds from the west by northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And moving into that hourly forecast, we've got 63 degrees this morning at 8 a.m. and at noon, 73 degrees, just about the same at 4 o'clock. Moving throughout the same temperature throughout the afternoon. Scattered thunderstorms, 66 degrees at 8 p.m. So definitely nice and breezy and interesting weather afternoon we'll have ahead of us. Eagle, 83 degrees, 50% chance of those scattered thunderstorms. Avon, just about the same in regard to scattered thunderstorms, but 78 degrees. So not quite as warm as Eagle is, our warmer sister on one end of the valley. And then we're looking at Vail, 74 degrees for the high in Vail. And then Denver, bookends it with that warmer weather, 87 degrees, but all throughout the I-70 corridor, we are looking at scattered thunderstorms. Now tonight, we're looking at a low of 54 degrees, 25% chance of rain, partially cloudy, and then the sunset at 8:34 p.m. Winds coming from the south by southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Looking at that afternoon forecast, we've got 4 more days of afternoon thunderstorms, 70s throughout the high, 52 throughout the 50s throughout the entire rest of the week in the evening. And then Sunday, mostly sunny, 76 degrees, gorgeous sunshine and above, 48 degrees for the low. So we're looking at some pretty great mild temperatures throughout the next 5 days with scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon, but I'd say that's pretty standard for, you know, our normal mountain town weather if we are not in the midst of winter ski season. Now, I had a fun time on the show today. We got into the kitchen. I made a delicious breakfast casserole bowl. So I'm going to pull this out of the oven. We're going to see exactly what it's going to look like. And man, oh man, I can smell it. It's filled with chorizo. It's got some of those tater tots, which you might say, tater tots, are you serious? Is that healthy? Yes, you need carbs to fuel your body, especially with the way that the weather has been. You're gonna be out and about, hiking, biking, and beyond. I cannot wait to try this. Plus we had Mike Mikowski from the AIM Gallery in the Solaris Plaza. AIM stands for Affirmations, Inspiration, and Motivation. And boy, his artwork is just absolutely incredible. Larger than life inspiration to put on your wall. You can customize it with the words that really have a meaning to you, with the colors that are important, like follow your dreams, dream bigger, you only live once. I tell you what, these are all of the different words that I write across my morning mirror when I'm getting ready for the show or when I am just really trying to find my motivation. And then always, Dinosaur Junction in Edwards. Get over there, go check it out. We have a local paleontologist. How many communities can say that they have a paleontologist living among them? I think it's a pretty cool thing, a feature that we have here in our Special Valley. I'm really happy that I was able to spend my morning with you. I'm going to go enjoy this breakfast casserole, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me here on Good Morning Vail.
See what lies in store for you. There's so many things